Welcome to the tutorial on barcodes and how they're used in AutoPilot4Feed. There are 5 types of barcodes used in AutoPilot4Feed. First of all, what we call a bag barcode, mainly used for raw materials added by hand and usually in small bags. Secondly, what we call a warehouse barcode, sometimes we call it a pallet barcode, used for everything in the warehouse when you have DSL's warehouse stock tracking system. Thirdly, a GTIN barcode that's used to specify a finished product, especially in the retail side of things. Fourthly, simple location barcodes around the plant. And lastly, an internal barcode used if you've got a pre-weigh for feed system. That's formerly called master weigh. That's when you weigh up batches of hand additives before the main batch starts. So just first of all, let me explain that there are 2 types of barcode. One-dimensional barcodes, 1D barcodes, the traditional stripes, and secondly these 2-dimensional barcodes, the square box. But it's important to know that both types can hold the same data, and usually from about 10 to 40 characters. Now, 1D barcode readers can't read 2D barcodes, but 2D barcode readers can also read 1D barcodes, but they're much more expensive. There are advantages in using different types. 2D barcodes are more compact, but they can hold much more data, and also 2D barcodes can correct minor errors on reading. So 1D barcodes use a symbology format such as interleave 205, code 39, code 128, and similar. And 2D barcodes, in our industry, we normally use something called data matrix. So I'll go through these 5 different types of barcodes. First of all, the bag barcode. So these barcodes are usually used at hand additives points to check that the correct raw material is added to the batch. And when it's scanned, we also read the lot number and often the expiry date to check that these are okay. Pre-weigh for feed also uses bag barcodes to check that the correct raw material is added to a batch of pre-weigh. So the contents and layout are defined in this program called CFG Barcode. Usually the material code, the lot number, expiry date and so on, and you can define your own in this program if you have a new type of barcode supplied to you. This program also works for 1D and 2D type barcodes. If you have a supplier that wants to supply bags with a barcode, we can recommend a format and layout for both types of barcodes. So what I'll do is I'll show you this program. If I go to Menu, Configure, Barcode, this is the program here, and on this system they have a number of different types configured. So this happens to be a type with all the information. I'll come on to that in a moment. And if I take one randomly here, this one happens to have a minimum length of 34 characters, a maximum length of 34 characters, so all of these barcodes are 34 characters. It's got some fixed positions, so it's always got a character 1 in position 27 and always got a character 7 in position 28. So these are the parameters used to check when a read is made. So when you read a barcode, the system will start off with type 1 and think, oh, well, is it 12? And if it isn't length of 12, it'll go on to type 2, and then type 3 and type 4 and so on. I've specified an example one here, type 12. It's 26 characters long, and we'll go through some of the other information there in a moment. So if I go on to the next page here, so this is one which I have specified and given as an example. So it's 26 characters long, because it's got a minimum and maximum of 26. there's a fixed character in position 1 which is always at X, and here is our X. So the material code starts at position 2 and it's 8 characters long, so here we are, that's the material code. The lot number starts at 10 and is 8 characters long, so here's the lot number, starts with L, 8 characters long. The weight of this bag starts at position 18 and is 3 characters long with 1 decimal place. So here we are, 120, so the 1 decimal place means that the weight is 12.0 kgs. And the expiry starts at position 21, 6 characters long, in this format here, YYMMDD. So here we are, 20, that's the year, 08 means August, and 01 the 1st of August. So this is the expiry for this material. So let's go on to the second type of barcode, what we call a warehouse barcode, and it's used for everything in the warehouse: small bags, big bags, tote boxes, pallets holding empty bags, spares, and anything else you want to track around your warehouse. So the type of barcode is what they call an SSCC barcode, and it's defined by an organization called GS1, and it's used by many companies which transport pallets and so on around the world. So the symbology used is called code 128, and pretty well every barcode reader can read this barcode. So here is an example of one, and it consists of 3 parts. First of all, a site ID number. If you're a member of GS1, they'll give you a number, but if not, we'll issue you a site number to go in here. This part of the barcode is an item number, or it's a pallet number, and it starts at 1, 2, 3, 4, goes all the way up to 999 million approximately, and then goes back to 1 again. So it's just a unique number, and then the final bit is this check digit, this last digit here. So when you scan one of these things, the computer then knows all the information about that barcode, for instance the material code, the number of bags on it, and the weight, and so on and so forth. So the computer knows all the time. So if an item gets adjusted, for example, if it comes off the line with 40 pallets on and 10 pallets get taken off, then the computer remembers, of course, that this pallet only has 30 bags left on it. If you ship to other companies, including supermarkets, you can use the same barcode if you want. So the third type of barcode is what we call a GTIN barcode, and sometimes you'll see that called GTIN 12, 13, or even 14, and so on. And basically it's the same barcode that you might see on a baked bean can in a supermarket, and it's used, it's got 2 parts. It's got the beginning of it, here's one here, is the first part of it is the manufacturer, and the second part of it is a unique product ID, which the retailer will know what the product is. So you can define the second part of the barcode here in the product, and if I go and here to go to change product definition, and I go to look at this product 0620p. Here, down here, barcode ID, this would be the barcode that goes onto the the number which goes into the barcode. So the fourth type of barcode, just simple location barcodes, and you'll see some examples here: CR6, CR7, G021, G022, G023, and so on and so forth. And it just makes it quicker for the forklift truck driver to scan the barcode and helps reduce mistakes. And finally, the fifth type of barcode is an internal one which is used within AutoPilot4Feed just to track batches which are pre-weighed for feed, formerly called master weigh, so that the system can track the batch, and then when it gets tipped into the main batch, it knows all the details that have gone in to the pre-weigh batch. So thank you for watching this tutorial. I do hope you found it useful, and if you have any questions, please contact DSL Systems.